Hello, leaders. Welcome to Digital Mandate, a podcast series by Tech Disruptor Media, a brand of BNG, where we brought visionary leaders to who are shaping the enterprise and technology. Today, we have Mr. Aditya Mishra from EVP and Chief Data Officer at SBM Bank. Thank you, Aditya, for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So my very first question is, what are your top priorities for leveraging AI and data analytics in banking and insurance? What practical use cases are you seeing emerging within your organization?
Sure. So since I come from a banking industry, so I will cover the actual case in point use cases from a practicality perspective, which we are doing and which is very much applicable to the banking sector, right? So if you see AI, of course, we are using heavily and extensively in some of our key areas. One is basically customer onboarding, and in customer onboarding, it's one of the most like, very typical task, right? And considering our banking model, where basically we have this digital first approach because we are kind of a neo bank, if you say in India, where basically we onboard customers via various our fintech partners and from various other channels as well. So it becomes very vital for us in terms of ensuring that we are absolutely onboarding the right customer, and in order to do that, we are using a lot of variables which are available. Of course, the variables are available, but then to understand, interpret it in terms of our understanding, that is where basically we leverage AI much. That's one of the area. Second area is, of course, in our offering our product and services. They're basically customer experience. How I can use my AI models to improve my customer my journeys, experience, and overall the sentiment of the customer, is good, is up to the mark. So that is where. So these are some of the use cases basically which we are using and implementing it as a service actually in the now.
Okay, that's an also answer.
Yeah.
My next question is around cybersecurity. Implementing new technology is a big thing, but regulating it with the compliance and you have to take care of everything. So my next question is, what steps are you taking to ensure cybersecurity and regulatory compliance in the face of evolving threats and regulations?
So see, cyber security, of course, data security, all these things, are vital thing in the ecosystem. We can't compromise on that. So right from the start of any implementation, these things are definitely we put that into the architecture much in advance. Now, uh, in terms of threat intelligence, so there are a lot of ways on which basically we are doing it. Like for example, we have a lot of these rules, right, which are the unobvious rules which we have codified into the platform, which basically helps us to understand what are the potential threats and how do we basically overcome it, and what are the basically the controls. Because through the controls only these threats are getting kind of captured. But how exactly these controls can basically help us in terms of to adequately addressing those threats, and accordingly at the same time reporting it as well, because reporting those threats are also important, both from a regulatory and of course from our day-to-day business operations perspective. But yeah, having said that, we are doing it upfront, and we are ensuring that in the name of improving our customer experience and other business parameters, these vital things are not getting compromised.
So it will like that's a very insightful like you're keeping your business or enterprises while belongs to the revolutions and clients always comes like last we need to have so like good customer experience. You should tell me how. So my next question is what strategies are you using to enhance the customer experience through technology, especially with the omni-channel and personalization trends?
Yeah. So see, basically, whenever we onboard our customer, so it starts from the onboarding, because as a customer, how well I know my customer in terms of the customer's needs. And second thing, the expectation of the customer, right? Because there are ways and means to basically capture those. Now, once the customer is onboarded, then since I know via these various touch points that what exactly the customer demands, and using the data and tech, So, like for example, the customer might have a lot of complaints about the product or services. Maybe the customer has read some complaint which is not getting addressed, like within the tag, specified tag. So we are trying to minimize this by using data and technology to ensuring that the customers' concerns, the customers' complaints, and so even it could be feedback, constructive or whatever, are not getting missed out. That's one. And second thing, reaching out to customer proactively, not reactively, proactively, and ensuring that his or her needs are absolutely tick the mark, and the engagement journey with the bank is absolutely right. So something which we use in our day-to-day activities, the engagement score at a customer level. How exactly the engagement score is basically, and this is one of the tracking metrics which we use in our business review meetings. And if the engagement score is not up to the mark, then I think it's a concern, and then we take it very, very seriously by the relationship managers and other channels. So that is where we use data and technology heavily to, of course, enhance the customer experience and these scores. Some of the key things which we are doing.
I see. That's a wonderful practice. So my last question is around like if you have to name one underrated technology, like we have many technology now, AI is ruling the enterprise world. But according to you, which one is the underrated technology which is not getting more recognition as it should?
Well, see, so it's basically say it's not like the technology is under it. It's depending on the purpose, what exactly the thing are. But in my view, if you ask me, some of these open source technologies, right? Like for example, they are like best in class, I would say. But because of the proprietary ones, there are a lot of proprietary softwares available in the market, right? And but in my experience, I generally try to work with a lot of these new age technologies, because unless you use them, you will not be in a position to understand the features, the differentiators part of it, right? So I don't want to name anyone, because of course in my role, in my constant, I can't, because it will look like I'm promoting one particular product. So I won't, but I would like to name it like the open source technologies. When the, if anyone is implementing an enterprise data lake or a lake house, I would say think beyond the proprietary softwares, go for open source, evaluate it, and use it extensively. I'm telling you, it will be a wonderful experience altogether. Your cost will be less, your overall TCO will be very, very high, and in terms of an overall experience, rolling out the program will be very, very easy and serious. That's what basically I would like to add.
Sorry for us. Thank you, Aditya, for joining.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.